Welcome back to another episode of Aloha Friday, and happy Aloha Friday, everyone. We've made it to the end of the week. We are here. It is time to relax and chill. And guys, we have the late night streamer with us late night tonight. Also, happy Aloha Friday to Bill, if he's still awake. Shout out to Bill and Zombie. They were just streaming not too long ago. But let's get back to Aloha Friday. Before I get any further, let me get my wife in the studio. Dee, how are you?
I'm great. Happy Aloha Friday. It is May 1st. There's a lot of birthdays of people that I know here, but it is also May Day is Lei Day in Hawaii. So happy Lei Day as well to everybody. Sending all the virtual flowers and Lei to everybody in the world. And yeah, it's a beautiful evening now. But yeah, it's been a beautiful day.
Can we at least get a little bit more context on what you mean by Lei Day? It's an actual flower lays around your neck, guys. So
it's a necklace of real flowers. I mean, if you don't have real flowers, you can use fake flowers. But it is a celebration of the Hawaiian culture where, yeah, people have like lei making contests. You just wear a necklace of, yes.
Zombie knows what's up right there. What's up, Zombie? Good to see
what's
you.
Up, Zombie? Yeah.
Bill,
yeah, it's a beautiful day because everywhere you go, it just smells really nice because all the fresh flowers are in bloom and people are just, Anyways, you got to be here to experience it.
Flowers.
Yes, flowers in a necklace is called a lei here. Lei, lei. Anyway, that's why I have my flower here. Yes, it's fake, but it'll do for now. It'll do.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of them streams tonight, guys. But guys, we're gonna have a good time tonight because we are kind of back at the witching hour when Dee and I first kind of started live streaming. This was around the time spot that we did it. But before we get any further, Dee, is there anything else that you want to discuss before we get the guest in?
We do have a supported giveaway later on in the show. Yeah, we will be having that. Thank you, Vivi, for the supported giveaway for the show. Thank you. Yep. So stay tuned for how you can enter to be part of the supported giveaway from Vivi at the end of the stream. There you go. Read the banner. Take her banner down.
We're going to run a race, guys. You know how it goes here. We're going to run a race. We're going to have Booth involved with the race with us, but that's at the end of the stream, so you're going to have to wait till the very end. So I'm pretty sure Bill is going to fall asleep, but that's okay, guys. We really appreciate you guys for tuning in every single time. Let's get him in, Dee. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's get him in. Let's beam him up.
All right. Where is the beaming button? It's somewhere around here, guys. Hopefully he comes in all pieces.
All pieces. In one piece. One piece.
Yeah, one piece. Yes, just like the anime, guys. I still don't know where the button. Here it is.
Activate the machine. Full power.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me or not?
No one can stop us now.
I don't know why I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me or not?
We can definitely hear you now, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the stream heard you. What's up, Booth?
What's up, Booth?
Hey, my bad. Why are you speaking for a little bit? My bad. Okay, but hey,
technology here. It's cheap.
Just beaming it up.
He's in one
But yeah.
What's up, brother? How are you, man? I mean, this is normally your witching hour. This is usually your time. So now we're kind of like traversing the late night streams with you, but it's good to have you on. I was just kind of talking with Booth before he came on the stream that I remember him from back in the day when Dee and I first joined Vivi, which is around 2021. I remember you seeing in like you were in like Randy's chats and certain other DMs. So I remember seeing your PFP. But then when we saw you streaming this year, that's when we really started to take note of what you were doing here. And we really love the fact that you and many other content creators are actually taking the streaming game to the next level. So I appreciate that. But thanks for joining us, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I love that you guys asked me to be on here, man. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to tap into you guys' streams a lot more. And I like all the different topics. You know what I mean? You guys cover a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like I love it. You guys do drops. You guys spread outside of the BB ecosystem. You guys, it's growing. I like it. I like it a lot. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Like one of our big things when we first started, in fact, you probably remember us from the Real Uncommon podcast days, is we wanted to be a place where we could have diversity, right? I mean, there's a lot of content creators out here. Maybe some cover just one project, maybe 2 or 3. But we wanted to really try to see if we could cover everything as much as possible because, I mean, you're having a fun time in this space. You love the collecting journey as well as all the NFT things that come to the forefront of it with the technology and all the cool stuff that's coming with it. We wanted to try to perpetuate the space and move it forward. And so we figured the best way to do it is to try to connect with everybody. So that's been our goal, for better or worse.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I'm your guest. I don't want to come on here because my brain is full of craziness. I don't want to come in here and be like, "Did you guys hear about this, that? I like this," and like you guys could do the show. You know what I mean? And I'll just be the humble guest.
Brother, so the one thing about Aloha Friday is we are open to tangents. We don't mind going left, right, up, down. So if you have something on your mind, please speak it. But before we even get into that, I'm going to let D kind of maybe ask the first question, and then let's just have a nice conversation. Go ahead, D.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm sure you probably have had this question asked, but if not, we normally like to just kind of, after we introduce you, just to tell us and the audience, whoever's watching, how you got into the digital space, maybe the phygital space, but how did you find the space that we're all part of? VB, Ecomi, other projects that you may be involved in. How did you find the space and what's kept you here for so long? And tell us about yourself, pretty much.
Yeah, I like that question. So I first got into everything, right? because it was a combination of Gary V and then the real Randy Chavez. Yeah, so I found Gary V, his relatively old videos of when he used to go garage sale hunting, and he had those stories. But he'd find those little Hot Wheels. And he'd be like, people don't know the real value, and I can sell them on eBay and all this stuff. And then, I was barely into getting into school and all that stuff. So I was I still had the hustler mindset, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, this is cool. This guy's and he really kind of speaks to the youth or whatever. He speaks to everybody, but he's always saying okay, if you're young, you should do this and all that stuff. So I was watching him, and then he started talking about NFTs out of nowhere in 2021. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I've never heard of that, right? And then I can't remember exactly how, but I came across Randy's streams, and I started watching Randy, and Randy was really cool. You know what I mean? I liked Randy's streams, so I've always been into I've always been a huge Randy fan, and people on X always give me hate. They always be like, oh, you're a Randy cult follower or whatever, all this stuff. But
you're part of his life. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Randy fridge. You know what I mean? When I started watching, he had that fridge, right? Shout out to my. You went down the fridge.
Oh my god!
Right? the handwritten people's name. And say hi to Dashi, and he'll turn the camera.
He had the list.
Oh my gosh! And those were good days. Those were so good. I remember vividly one day. I can't remember. He was on stream for so long that he lived close to Taco Bell, and he was like, "Guys, I'll be back." And then he just left. He's got up and he went to Taco Bell, and he came back. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm back." And I'm like, "Bro, but that's so cool because he was
running."
Left.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Yeah, and I like that. Randy's a really he's real. He just whatever he uses, he puts it right there, and he's just like, "Hey guys," he doesn't. It's I like that he doesn't. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I like that he doesn't try too hard, and it's very informative. Like he doesn't have to try too hard because there's a lot to like learn from it. And I learned a lot from Randy and all that stuff. And then I was to get back to your question, I was really into Omi, right? For like a lot of years, like I really didn't even start getting into collectibles too much. Like I don't go for drops, and I just do secondary. And I was really big on Omi. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And then that really pushed me into like learning about Web3 and blockchain and crypto and all this stuff, because you can't really go to school for it. Like you can't, if you wanted to learn about, you know, blockchain and tokenomics and all this crazy stuff, like they don't have a class for it. They don't have a degree for it. You know what I mean? So you have to really learn from, you know, like YouTube and social media and all this stuff. So it's been a crazy journey, but yeah, we're still here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That is such a good thing that you know what I love about what you just said, and shout out to Randy, because Randy is the one streamer that I can see that he can just turn it on and go. You know, some people will have to prep, or some people will be like, you know, maybe they'll have a big guest on and they will just have a brain fart and be like, what the hell do I say next? But not Randy. Randy will just be like, okay, Gilmore Girls this, okay, Omi this, right? And then he'll start doing about, you know what I mean? Like, the Gilmore Girls references really get me though, because I'm like, damn, he did watch the show, because I watched it too. But yeah, that's the one thing I notice about him, is he can just turn it on and go, and that is a gift, because and you know this, right? Because you've been doing streams a lot, right? And you're getting really good at the go as well, right? From the get-go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I love the fact that we're in like the Matrix sometimes with you, because I pretty much will just kick back and leave streams on. So like, just know I'm probably watching you when you're on, and I just have you playing in the background when I'm with my son. But I love it when like I'll be right back, and then like you just leave us in the Matrix. I'm like, and everyone's like, where'd he go? What's he doing? You know what I mean?
Like you're trying to listen to like voices in the background. Okay, is he here? Is he there? Like, what's he doing?
Exactly, because I don't want people to interrupt my stream, bro. I don't want people to interrupt my stream, but I don't want to be rude. I want to be like, go, get away. Like I was like, hey, are you doing good? Are you okay? Okay, can you kind of like just be quiet a little bit? You know? And it's like, okay. And like, but I try not to let it interrupt me, because I have like a lot of cool stuff that I want to share with people. You know what I mean? So and it's just like venting, you know. So it's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and that's pretty much the reason why we kind of started the Real Uncommon podcast, right? Is we wanted to continue the conversation. We went to DCon 2022, and I don't know if you've been to a DCon or if you went to anyone in Anaheim, but we went to that one. That was a lot of fun. We wanted to continue the conversation. We started the podcast, and this is kind of where we ended up. And it's a lot of fun doing this, man. And I have so much I want to talk about, to a point where now you see us talking about a bunch of stuff, because you got Vivi, then you got like Elmon X, and then you got like Candy, and then it's like there's so much going on here. And I think there's just more to come. What about you? What do you think?
Oh, definitely. Like Elmon X. So, okay, I don't want to get too on it, but when I first heard about it, I was against it, and now I've completely jumped ship, right? And so you guys know about Raul Powell, though, right? Because you guys' last stream, you guys had a picture of him. So I always reference this, and when I listen to him literally every single day, I listen to all his interviews, like all throughout the day. Like he's his like
wine,
key, right?
his night vino streams.
Yeah. And so a while back, he was in an interview, and some lady asked him like, okay, what do you think about the NFT bull cycle, the next one, like 2026, or just the next one that's coming up? And he was saying a lot of stuff, and but he said one thing. He said that he really thinks that digital art is gonna take off, and he used a specific number. He was like, digital art, you're gonna see it go to like $20 million next bull cycle for NFTs. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
but when I first heard
the market cap of art. Art.
Yeah. And like I was like, what? 20 million? But when I first heard it, I thought about Vivi, one of one art pieces, right? But then I learned about Emlon X, and I was like, he's probably talking about Emlon X, because Emlon X has like Mona Lisa and the Starry Night and all these really famous art pieces. So I think he was referencing that. Yeah, that one that was today, right?
That was today. Yeah. And shout out to Bill, because Bill was able to get the 1 of 1. So they were kind of celebrating that earlier. And then also shout out to Bones, because I think he got a Gem Mint 9. So I got a pour.
Nice.
So my card looks like it came out of somebody's back pocket.
So you got the common.
I think I got below the common, if you can
Or
even
the
get worse than
uncommon.
that. But no, to reference Raul Pal, yeah, man, like I used to actually pay for his Real Vision Insight back in 2020. Because I came from equity markets before I came into the NFT space. And I really loved when he used to teach you how to read charts. And now I see him in pictures with the Candy Crew, and I'm just like, whoa, this guy now is like in the space. Like he already was talking about the space, like you just said, right? And reference 1 of 1 art. Like, yeah, Vivi's got the 1 of 1 art, Candy's got 1 of 1 art. And to kind of like put it into a crux, this is just like Veblen Goods 2.0, right? But in a digital form. You're going to have watches like this in 2.0. We might even have wearables, or actually we do have wearables in like, say, the Decentralands and all that kind of stuff, right? And I think it just complements that. I know a lot of people, Booth, they're like afraid that digital will kind of like trump the physical. And I don't think either or will be going away anytime soon. And if anything, if anyone is afraid that physical is going to disappear, look at Pokemon, by the way, guys. It's just going to make the physical stuff way more attainable, way more precious, and way more valuable. So I think digital in its sense is just going to drive the adoption more and drive more of the value proposition, because the tangibility stuff will be sought after more. What do you think?
I think...
Did I lose you on that?
No. I just don't want to... So what I think is, I think you're right in the sense of like this, like physical isn't gonna go away, right? Obviously, like physical collectibles and all that stuff, it's not gonna go away, right? That's impossible. But I do think that the digital is gonna trump the physical, because just the
mainstream, yes.
Yeah, and just the use case and the utility. Like once you kind of have like NFTs, like they're very, like they're centered around smart contracts. So you can have endless possibilities. You know what I mean? You can have the SR Spider-Man be your access into certain physical events, or just anything in the real world or in the digital world in metaverse. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't really see that happening with physical collectibles. You know what I mean? But
100%. And I think what I mean by the physical is like, you know how when you, and I don't know how your comic book store is, and shout out to my comic guy. He had to close down his shop, but he was like he's a comic head, right? So you go in there, like, digital sucks, but I get where they're coming from, but I think they're missing the point on, it's really just going to drive all that physical stuff they're holding in those long boxes more valuable. And at the same time, Booth, I 1,000% agree with you in terms of what the digital is going to do, because a lot of the kids are going to be our age and then 40 and then 50, and they've already understood this stuff from when they were 10. And it's just going to be mainstream. We're going to see it now. We're going to see plane tickets. We're going to see movie tickets. We're going to see mortgages. You're going to see your car. In fact, who knows, man? Maybe me and you can just trade NFTs, and here, have my Honda Accord, Booth. You know what I mean? You see what?
Yeah, and this is I say this all the time on my stream, that like, yeah, it's like your house deed, and your, like you said, like all these different agreements and all these different contracts, right? Anything that's what an NFT is. You know what I mean? And right now, I always like kind of make this argument. It's kind of shifting. It's like for the past 4 years, it's just been NFTs have been ran by DJs. Yeah. Like people like sort of my age, or just like
it's had a bad rap.
People are just like, yeah, like they're just like, okay, NFTs are purple and pink apes and rhinos and kitties, and that's what it is. So then like when you kind of hear about it, you're like, I don't want to hear about NFTs. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's not the full use case. Like there's so much more that you can do with NFTs. You know what I mean? So definitely,
the same thing happened with the internet, though, right? Like when the internet first, this is how old I am, Booth. I'm in like mid 40s, right? So like I was around when the internet came, right? And everyone's like, why would I want to use that scammy thing? Email. I remember when email came out. You know what my grandparents told me? Why would I use that piece of shit? I could just go to the post office. I'm like, okay, but that's like 30 minutes away. You know what I mean?
And then you gotta wait like another week to get any
Yeah.
kind of response.
Yeah, or MP3s. That's the best one right there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'll never give up my CDs. I'm like, well, you gave up your cassette tapes. You know what I mean? So it's like you
Mhm.
gave up your records, but records are coming back, by the way. So, and it goes back to what you said. The physical's not going to go away, right? It's just going to be more valuable and tangible, in my opinion, right? To where,
Mhm.
and that's why we're in collecting, right? The nostalgia of that tangibility is kind of what got us in this space. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't for Vivi and the tech, I would have never gotten back to wanting to collect, like, you know, physical stuff like this, right? I got like physicals all over the place. So for me, it complements things. Now, I got a question for you, because do you understand the rule of attrition?
I don't. What is that? Explain that.
Okay,
That sounds interesting.
So the rule of attrition is like this. Attrition basically states that anything that is mass produced in quantity will lose that quantifiable production over time. So, like, let's just say there's 100,000 things that was printed, like a card or a comic. Over time, like say 10 years, that supply will shrink because those books will be burned, trashed, used as a doorstop, put in a back pocket to where it won't be graded properly. And so the value of certain individuals who hold that item will go up because either they kept it in good condition, they graded it and put it in a slab. And so that's what the rule of attrition really dictates, is that anything that's been mass produced over time will lose that mass production and the supply will shrink. Now, that is easy to
Right.
happen in the physical world, right?
Mhm.
But in the digital world, not so much, unless you implement something like a burn or something. And so, what is a good way to implement the rule of attrition in the digital side?
That's a good point, right? And I agree with you. I think it's only a burn factor. I mean, I have speculation too, but I don't think it really counts because I've tried to say this a lot of times, and people are like, no, I don't think it's really a thing. Because I was also talking to California Comics because he has a grading system too, but I don't fully understand it yet. But my like I'm not too big. Like I don't know about that stuff. But from my understanding, when I first kind of heard about it, I was like, because in my comics, none of my comics I've read, right? So in the little thing, it still says unread. You know what I mean? Like it says you haven't read it, right? So I was always thinking like, if I never read it, does it make it more valuable? You know what I mean? Like,
And you're making a good point, right? Like, that is a good point. That is part of the rule of attrition, right? As soon as you open that book booth, it's like driving a car off the lot. There went the value, right? But it's a damn good story, right? Hey, man, Action Comics 1 was badass, you know? So, but that's the point, right? And like I said, over time, like X-Men #1, right? That's it, like the Jim Lee covers, right? I think there's like millions of those things were made. Millions of copies were made of that, right? And over time, though, that book is still worth a lot because over time, Booth, those copies have been thrown in trash cans or used as a campfire. And so for me, like, Vivi's got all these big supplies, right? I think they're going to implement the rule of attrition to lower that supply because you have other projects now kind of hinting that, you know, scarcity is where it's at, right? Like I go and look at Candy Digital. You got that guy Tad, right? He's always talking about scarcity, right? I also know Candy has a lot of supply on certain things. So the rule of attrition doesn't apply for digital unless you make something applicable to that. And I think these companies really should think about the rule of attrition, right? I really think if we open our comics in Vivi, it should be considered as it's open, right? And it should be considered as part of that rule of attrition. Like, okay, you just bent a page or something like that. You just opened it, just something of that sort. And then you get rewarded for holding something that you never opened. What do you think about that?
So I voiced it once, man, because I don't know too much about it. I voiced it once and people were like, no, it's not that. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But another thing is that maybe, and this is another thing I don't know too much about, like the rule of attrition. So I was thinking like low transactions or not. I don't know if that's the right word. Low, like, you know, like when you sell your comics or you sell your NFTs, it goes from one wallet to the next, right? But if you get it on drop, if you get on drop or you mint it, right? The Genesis piece. What is that?
So that's like a Genesis mint. Like it just went to your wallet and never exchanged hands after the fact. Yeah.
Right. So maybe that can be like a. I mean, obviously they can get damaged. They can't get in any worse condition. But you could look at the transactions on a
The
blockchain. Like, it's only
metadata,
had.
right? The blockchain, and
Yeah.
see how
It's
far
only
it's
been
exchanged
to.
hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's only been to, or maybe the fewer. I mean, obviously, if you were the only owner, then that just makes it extremely more valuable. But I mean, if you, or maybe even if like it's, let's say like if one of the owners used to be Gary Vee, that's still kind of in the still
Right.
the same, or like a famous person. I'm just saying Gary Vee, right?
And that's
But
applicable because it's trackable.
yeah, like just basically tracking transactions, whether it's the number of transactions or who it's been owned to. That can also, maybe it could be like a. I don't know if the same thing. I don't know if the same thing. If it's the same thing of
I think
the
what we're
this
trying to
units.
figure out is how do we create wear and tear, right? In order to
Right.
like
Yeah.
bring the value down. And I love that. That's a really good example of like, say that thing traded, like you say a good example, right? Like we go for a comic and it's the first appearance of Captain America, right? And that common gets sold 10 times. Well, that's a really big rule of attrition of it's exchange at 10 hands.
Right.
So if we
Right.
actually physically move the comic 10 hands, once it hits that 10th hand, it's going to have a wrinkle or a crink or something, right? And
Right.
so that is a
Right.
really good example on how you could simulate attrition. And what I'm trying to say is, or just simulate wear and tear is basically what we're getting at. And that's possible. And I think something like that should be baked into the smart contracts for these type of collectibles, because then I feel like it really is kind of how regular life is, right? Because if I drop a comic right outside of the comic store, it's done. It's toast, right? But digital is a little bit different.
I was gonna
Yeah.
just kind of quickly input when you guys were talking about the rule of attrition that I have like on the Vivi app, I have several comics that's in the 5-digit number. Because remember when we had like the 10,000 edition runs, and then so that's kind of like an example. I don't know if it would apply like a big amount of the supply of comics, but then over time they had to burn them, right? So even though I have like a 5-digit number, because there
Is it?
was so many supply, and then now the rest of them got burned, or when we had to what do you call it, upgrade or update to the, you had to do the whole KYC, and if you didn't do it, then basically your account was closed. So who knows how many of those accounts were closed, therefore bringing it even more the supply down. And so like now when I look at my edition number that I have, and it's like a 5-digit, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad because it used to be 10,000, but then it got slashed in half. So I technically have, I guess, a better book because of that. I don't know if that applies to that rule of attrition that you were talking about, Hinano, but also with the whole the candy thing, because there were a lot of bat cows that were minted. Was it 30,000? I think, right?
I think less. I think the collection was supposed to be that much, but I want to say maybe 10,000 got minted.
But I mean,
I don't
that's
think
still a lot too.
that's a lot.
10,000, yeah.
Right,
And then
yeah.
if because they're giving us that time until like May 20.
Don't quote me on that, back house.
Yeah, they're giving us a certain amount of time to become an active person for your things to migrate over. But if you don't do that, then that's even less of a supply in the bat cows. So then your items that you have can be like even more scarce or have like better value. I don't know if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I almost. So are you saying like because it was like a 5? I think I understand. So you're saying was it because it was when they burned the editions, there were certain editions that aren't available anymore, so it makes your mint kind of more scarce.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah, in that way. Because I know a lot of people usually go for like the 2-digit or 3-digit mint because it's like lower on the bottom of the, I guess, edition size, right? But if you have like a 5, not too many people, I don't think would have like a 5-digit mint number. So I think that would in itself make it kind of special. I don't know. I'm just
Right.
making up my own rules because I have several in my account. So I'm making it special for myself. I don't know. Yeah, same with Let's see. What do they say? Uh-oh. Do you guys hear that?
Sorry.
I'm like echoing. Oh no, there's two of me. I'm echoing. I think I'm
I think
okay.
I think it was Booth. Maybe he had like an audible speaker.
Yeah, so Shane had written in the comments, that's my biggest wish from BB. I wish they would update all mints to be accurate. Okay, I know the Stanley posters from the jacket sales are not accurate. Oh yeah, he brought that up before. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be doing anything about that. But same with all the burn comics. You had to get like the total supply and then what's left. But yeah, I like your take on that. You know, the rule of attrition, and I've been looking at things more in the collecting space. After you had told me about that, and just kind of looking for more things that I don't know, in a way, like trying to predict how things could be valued in like the few years to come.
Well, I mean, part of what kind of got me thinking about attrition, and I've heard that term before, is when I started getting into TCG. Now, Booth, I actually stopped collecting comics for I think 2 or 3 months already, so I could understand Pokemon. I didn't understand it, or just a trading card game in general, and also One Piece. So, for the past 2 to 3 months, I've been learning a new IP, so I could learn how to collect trading cards and stuff like that, and it's been a lot of fun. But the thing about like learning all these new things is there's all these other things that come with it, right? RWAs come now with an NFT. So a lot of these things are becoming mainstream regardless of what we do. And it's interesting to see what the RWA guys are doing in terms of also trying to like create not necessarily attrition, but demand for their product. And I just think over time, a lot of this stuff's just going to get bigger, and a lot of people are going to be looking at this space. Like, did you see that GameStop is making a bid to buy eBay, right? And why do you think they're going to do that? Oh, you didn't see that?
I didn't see that. No, I did not see
Yeah.
that.
So GameStop is making a move to buy eBay, and I can only assume because the TCG market has now become just as big as the S&P 500, as in Pokemon. And so, besides like companies like FANABLE or Bezos, you're gonna have eBay or whatnot to go and get your cards, right? And so, why not be the purveyor of where you get that from? And GameStop, I think, is making a play for that kind of stuff. Are you into trading cards?
I'm not, but I am.
You're
Like,
not?
I used to be, and I'm not in the way that a lot of people are. Like, obviously, I grew up just being a fan of it. Like, when I was a kid, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and all that stuff. So I was there. I was like in that sense a collector. But then when I was in high school, I did used to like sell like on eBay, and just like I used to also just sell like on like OfferUp too. Like a lot of people would buy it off of OfferUp. But I didn't. But I still didn't have like the knowledge that maybe like you have, or like the a lot of people have. Of like I would just like get like like Magic cards, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then like I was just this one was cool. Like and I didn't really know about it, and it's still all of my knowledge came from when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So all of that, and I kind of got out of the loop of it. So I'm not too big on it. Like I wouldn't know how to but yeah.
I'm with you. Now, remember, now I'm a comic head, right? And so when I was growing up in the 90s, then that was when I graduated high school. I was collecting comics, and not even that much either. I didn't care about Pokemon, and I remember I had like maybe 5 packs, and I didn't care about them. And now I'm like, maybe one of those packs had a shadowless Charizard that's worth 50K. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, you know. So, but the one thing that I do know is the trends are going to that type of market. A lot of people are waking up. I mean, there are people now in my town talking to DNI about Pokemon, and it's kind of blowing my mind because like first they're talking about NFTs. I'm like, okay, are we at the top now where people in our own town is talking about NFTs? But I don't think we're there yet. I think we're just kind of at the middle ground of things. But it's very exciting because no matter what I see, we've been in this space for like almost 4 years. You know what I see that's always been full circle for us here, Booth?
What is that?
That everyone is getting into collecting. Everyone is getting into collectibles. Everyone is getting into comics and trading cards. And it's not even like the Logan Pauls. I'm talking about everyone. You got institutions, you got investors, you've got Web3 degens probably watching in the back of the room right now, buying Pokemon, selling their crypto, and going all in. Now, whether that's a good or bad thing, that's up to them, because I feel like we're at a hot moment right now, so be careful. But the point is, people are adopting this kind of stuff, whether it's for the value prop, the gambling prop, or the fact that you see something generational and you want to hold something for the long term. And that's a collector's mindset, right? That's the reason why I'm in this game. A lot of what I hold, like comics, this is for my children. You know what I mean? I've secured books to where when it's their time, they will at least be set up with the books that I've given them or secured for them, or the cards I've secured for them, you know? So that's how I look at it. That and the Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So were you going to say something, D?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I definitely have. I've been seeing it, and I feel like it's kind of like a switch of like perspective, because normally like I'm like big into like Web3 and crypto, and I'm used to seeing people saying like, oh, I've seen that people are into that lately. Like I don't understand it, and then like so now like I don't understand it, like, but I've been in it. Like I'm into Pokemon and all this stuff, but I'm not partaking in it. So, but I have seen it. Like, so I'm kind of like, you know, kind of like a third party, just saying like, okay, yeah, everybody is kind of like aping into like Logan Paul.
They're aping,
yeah, it's big now. Yeah, like,
yeah,
I don't really
like
understand it.
Frenzy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm with you on that. I just wanted to like, I can relate, because I'm still like a good example is these Pokemon, right? Like you have to understand the evolutions of them. I didn't know one Pokemon had like 8 or 9 evolutions. So it's like, you got to do your homework to understand what you're doing here, right?
Is a load of BS, because that's a big reason why I hopped out of Pokemon, because I stopped following Pokemon maybe in 2020 or 2015, right? Maybe 20, more towards when Pokemon Go came out. Because when Pokemon Go came out, the game was terrible.
20th? Yeah.
The 20th? What does that mean?
Was it like the 20th anniversary that Pokemon Go app came out?
I'm not sure. It might have been, but it might have been. That would have made sense, right? But basically, like if you grew up playing Pokemon, watching Pokemon, there's many variations of Pokemon. There's Pokemon. There's Pokemon Ranger. There's Pokemon just the traditional one where you go out on a journey, you get all the badges. There's Pokemon there's like Snap. There's so many different versions of Pokemon.
So many sets.
Yeah.
So many.
And you got to know which is the good sets and where are the shitty ones, right? You know?
And that's another aspect of it too. The cards is like there's so many different variations of Pokemon. It's just crazy, right? But then when Pokemon Go came out, it was just Pokemon just started moving to where it moved away from what it originally was. You know what I mean?
Which is
and they started like, and like to add back to what you're saying, like the evolutions, as you go further in the regions, I guess I forgot what it's called. It's like not seasons, but like I mean it's kind of season, because every single TV show, like the new season would be like a new region and a new game and all that stuff. But every single new region, there would be new evolutions. You know what I mean? So it'd be like they just create new Pokemon out of nowhere. They'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, this Pokemon that we've had for 5 years, there's a new evolution. But you'd be like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. He's not supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
He's supposed to just
And then they're just like running out of ideas, and then like 8 years later, like there's like 9 evolutions now. It's like, bro, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, you're just making stuff up, and it doesn't make any
brand new
sense.
characters like the reboot.
And this is another reason why I fell out of it, is because there's this Pokemon called Rotom, right? And this is how I knew that they were running out of ideas. So like some Pokemon like are resembled out of, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. So
Deed, like I said, I'm new, right? Like I'm just getting into the thing, and like I'm more of a graded person. I don't like ripping packs because I suck at ripping packs. It's a waste of money for rip packs. I'd rather hold a pack, but like I'm a graded person. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and Roni says, okay, I like that one. Okay, there's a lot of dumb ones, but he's talking about Unknown. He's talking about the Pokemon Unknown. That one, I grew up with that one. That one was kind of cool. But so there's a Pokemon called Rotom. So basically, a lot of Pokemon they're made after or they resemble certain like animals or certain things in the real world, right? So there's this Pokemon called Rotom, and I think it was after. It might have been Sinnoh, which is kind of like the 5th generation. It was either Sinnoh or after that. So they were running out of ideas, and they're like, Rotom, this Pokemon is gonna resemble a washing machine. And it was a Pokemon that looked like a freaking washing machine. I was like, bro, you guys
I want that card now.
I swear, you can look it up.
Rotom?
He's
a
a washing machine.
Ghost.
Yeah, so there's different versions of him. Like the original version, he's just like a lightning bolt, but there's a version you get where he's like a freaking like washing machine. And I'm like, dude,
I see that. You're right.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you guys are running out of ideas. I was like, bro, I'm like, just stop, bro. Just get back to the original concept and just stop making craziness, bro.
That's crazy.
And then after the washing machine, he evolves into a dryer.
There it is.
No,
that's silly. Is it worth a lot? The Roto Motor.
Roto Motor.
What the hell is that? Bro, this thing is like worth like what, $2,000 for the Rotomotor.
It is?
I don't know. I'm just saying, right?
Like, oh, shucks, I should have sold
that'd be
that
nuts,
one.
Right? The golden washing machine.
That would be nuts. It's
That's
like
funny.
when they run out of ideas and whoever's gotta like come up with the next idea is like, oh, what should it be? And then the first thing they open, washing machine.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they see
Put
when they
that
wake
in the
up,
kiosk.
washing machine. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're all at a table and they're like, what should we make? Like some guy's like, yeah, I mean, I was washing my clothes the other day. Maybe we could do that.
Oh, I just had a pizza, bro. Let's make one look like a pizza, right? Yeah. Call him the Puzza. The Puzza Pokemon. We'll give him 20 evolutions, right? Start with cheese and with pepperoni.
Cheese, upgrade to pepperoni, and then the supreme.
Oh gosh, where have we gone here? All right, let's reel it back. Booth, I think we're gonna go back to basics here because I think we didn't even start with a very basic question: is how did you find the space, my friend, and what got you into digital collecting?
Well, besides, Gary V getting into that.
I'm sorry, like I meant Vivi, right? Like the Vivi.
Oh, Vivi.
Like, what really got you into Vivi? What made you stay? Because I know, like, a lot of the community kind of exodus because of certain reasons, right? But we're all here. We're diehards. What brought you to the end of the tunnel?
Well, I just barely started getting into collectibles. So this year, like my vault, other than comics, like I've been collecting comics forever, but I just got into collectibles like just at the end of 2025 and 2026, right? So I only have not 40 something collectibles, like something like that, like very low, you know what I mean? Yeah. But because it's just because of the IP, right? And once you see that, like I started looking into Collect Chain, and I started watching the Dr. Collect interviews, and he's building the whole Collect Chain like infrastructure or like to offer ledger tech, right? Which will bring self-custody, interoperability, just there's so many things, you know what I mean? And to where all that stuff that we used to say, like everybody used to say back in 2021, 2022, now it could come to like fruition, you know what I mean? To where it's like people used to be like, we can rent our NFTs and we can, and this can have this, that. So you can't really have a lot of stuff without self-custody, you know what I mean? Without interoperability, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, but once Collect Chain came about, or they're still making it, they're still building it. Hopefully we get all this stuff. And a lot of, I made a post today to where I just and I've been clipping a lot of Dr. Kleck's audio to where he's literally saying like, we're trying to move towards NFT games, and you can move you don't have to only access your Vivi NFTs through the Vivi site, and also even not just through Stacker, because through Stacker you still have to sign in through with your Vivi account. You know what I mean? With Stacker, so it's still technically you're still operating within the Vivi ecosystem, and he's trying to explaining how he wants to move towards where you can have full custody, you can move your NFTs to like MetaMask and all these different wallets, right? And then once we have self custody and all this stuff and interoperability, then we can have we can have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do more with your things.
I'm really happy with what they're doing with the with basically the NFTs, because I think it was last year we wasn't really sure what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then D and I was there when they announced Collect Chain, and I just remember looking at her. I'm like, they're actually going to give us self custody, D. This is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, because I mean, and in the end, like I truly think Vivi would have survived anyway without it, but because of how things are moving in the world with regulatory constraints lifting, and how we know what these are definable as an asset, I think it just
Yeah.
makes sense. Everyone's doing it, right? You see Candy Guys talking about it as well. McFarlane's already doing it. DigiToys had a workaround, and now they're doing it with Abstract. So it just makes sense. But what really makes sense is also the royalty part, and to do it right, and to do it right towards the people that, you know, the IP and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I do know on the Candy side is all that's being baked within the contract itself, to where it follows the collectible with it, right? And if that is there, then nothing can be modified from the time it was actually distributed from day one. And so just to have that, and to have that type of security for the IP, I think it's great. And I love what they're doing. You know, I would prefer it on an L1, but I also like base. So, you know what? Let's see where we go with that. And the only reason why I say that is a lot of people aren't using base yet, as in mainstream, right? We're using base.
Yeah.
I like base, but like my grandma's not using base, right?
Yeah, and it's still in its like its meme coin phase, like its early stages, its degen phase, you know, like there's but it's all good, you know.
I wanted to ask you too, because you said that you just recently started collecting like more collectibles, and you mentioned you know, you're here because of part of it is because of the IP. So what collectible is it that you first got? And because I know you and Trey were talking about the Star Wars drops and stuff coming up, right, recently. So what was your like the first collectible, I guess, that you got on Vivi?
My first collectible. I'm not sure. That's a hard one. I'm not sure my first collectible, but I could share my favorite would be this Zombie Hunter Spider-Man FA.
Oh, okay.
That one is good, right? Because to me, and I always say this all the time, like that's Tom Holland's, bro.
I was gonna say,
Holland.
bro,
Yes.
is that Tom Holland's? Because
that's Tom Holland's.
That's what everyone was saying.
It is
from the cartoon.
I thought I was the only one that said that. I thought I was. I only heard
I've heard this. Maybe you started it, and I've heard it, but I've heard people say like that's Tom Holland behind there, right?
Because that is Tom Holland
from the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's from the movie. That's from what movie is that? That's from. It's either Avengers or it's Is it Doctor Strange?
That one I don't know, but I know I thought. See, Tom Holland was. I want to say, wasn't he in one of the What If animated series as that Spider-Man?
I didn't. I've only watched like one episode of the What If on Disney Plus, right?
The first one, dude. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When they all turn into zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, but I don't know. I don't remember that. It might have been. He might have been in there, but I was more referencing like when you know, like when Spider-Man, everybody finds out that Tom Holland's is Spider-Man and Zendaya is there, and they don't go to college. Do you know that one?
Two. That's the one when they go to that's what Mysterio, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, not that one. Right? The one with Doctor Strange. So when that's how I'm trying to say.
The third one.
That's the third one. Okay, so is that No Way Home?
Yeah.
Okay, so No Way. I'm sorry. So No Way Home, but in that one, he's fighting, but they're just like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are like going at it, right? And then like the Doctor Strange's cape gets on him and stuff, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, dude, that's Tom Holland with the Doctor Strange cape. You know what I mean? So
in What If, that zombie Spider-Man's in it. And people are referencing that is Tom Holland because it sounds like him when he speaks.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's
go
dope.
watch
it.
Check it out. But
I gotta
that
watch
makes
that
sense
one.
too. That makes sense too. So
Yeah, that's what I thought it was because because in Spider-Man No Way Home, Tom Holland's and it even kind of looks like Tom Holland's Spider-Man suit because just to me like if you look at like Tobey Maguire and you look at Andrew Garfield and you look at Tom Holland's their suits, the Spider-Man for Tom Holland's his like eyes like his Spider-Man eyes are the black area is a little bit thicker. I feel like you know what I mean like to where like you could kind of tell like if you saw like each variant, like Tobey Maguire, Andrew, and then Tom Holland's, and they all had the suit on, like covering their face. You would know, you know which one, but it's because it's small little details. You know what I mean? To where you like, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
who's your favorite Spider-Man out of the three?
It was Toby until Tom Holland stepped on the scene. You know what I mean? But Toby's and so there
He's
that's
just
so
an
Tom.
OG, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Andrew Garfield is terrible. I'm sorry.
Can I be honest?
Terrible.
I have an affinity for the guy now, right? Because so when the movie came out, because I was never a fan of Amazing Spider-Man. I was with you. I'm like, man, Andrew Garfield sucks. But I went and rewatched his movies before we went and watched that third movie just to kind of get reacclimated. And I watched it with my daughter. It's the first time she watched it. I actually enjoyed it the second time because my daughter was old enough to enjoy it with me, to where now I actually don't mind him so much in that third movie. Maybe not his series, but in that third movie, I do feel for him because I like the part when he catches Zendaya. And if you remember, Gwen passes away, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, at least he got his due, right? He saved somebody. So,
and you feel for him because he's like, okay, I lost my
love,
Mary
but
Jane.
I saved yours.
So
right?
then, it wasn't Mary Jane. It was what was it, Gwen or
Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, but they had to write that in. So, but okay. So if we're gonna talk about Spider-Man, right? How do you feel about Into the Spider-Verse?
So I like it. I do because, for one, it's different in terms of, like, it had a different vibe. Obviously, that's Sony Animations, right? But one thing I did like about it, I felt it was very relatable. So when we watched that movie in theater, we took my daughter and her friends, and they weren't Spider-Man fans until they left that movie. And when they left that movie, they were very excited for it, right? And so, and it was because of the appeal of Miles. Miles, very young, it appeals to them in that generation, right? Plus all the music and everything, and the dad, and then the whole family aspect versus like you lose your uncle and you're with your dead aunt. They had that family connection. A lot of people really resonated with that, and so I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for number 3.
That's true.
That one is it's so good, right? And like I can't even explain it because the art, right? The art style is amazing.
Yes.
Just the art style is crazy, and just like it really ties into the kind of like
that Seychelles look, right?
Yeah, yeah, and just the whole newer generation, just like the art, and then like kind of like Miles being kind of like mixed, you know what I mean? So like this generation, everybody's mixing up and all that stuff. But then he has that culture, he has that like kind of like that style, that swag, to where he's like they had Spider-Man wearing Jordans, and it's just like a whole. It's very like a culture shock, you know what I mean? It brought in the whole entire new generation, and it's just like all in one movie.
We had dad bod Spider-Man in that, right?
Yeah. That was Peter Parker, right? And they're all majority of them Peter Parker, and that is why. And I like this movie too because the storyline did. Is that Into the Spider-Verse, or is that the second one? Right, the second one where Miles faces off with all the different Spider-Mans, right? So all the different Spider-Mans.
That was crazy too.
Yeah,
right?
So
variants.
Like in my opinion, that just like. It just like I feel like if you're 15 and you defeated every single Spider-Man from all the different universes, all of them they were trying to kill him. You know what I mean? They're trying to like, okay, we got to take him out. It's not one Spider-Man, it's not 2, it's not 5, it's not 10. It was hundreds of Spider-Mans trying to take him out, and he got away. You know what I mean? And he beat Spider-Man 2099. So it's like, okay, now you have to respect Miles, because it's like, bro. and he's only 15 doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
and he's so relatable to this generation because of the age, because of what he's going through, the emotions he's going through, a different type of, because like Peter Parker was like very relatable for our age when we grew up, but now this Miles, I think, is more relatable than ever now for everybody's children.
Yeah, and this new generation is definitely like we already see it on Vivi. Like Miles is already a Grail, and a lot of people like we just learned about. Like I just learned about him when the first movie came out. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like he's already a Grail, and the newer generation is gonna adopt him. They already like him a lot, so this is just gonna go on for generations. That next generation is gonna pick it up, and it's just gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
he's relatable. He's an artist. And he's gonna be this generation's Spider-Man. I really believe so.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to like Peter Parker and Miles, who's better? Who would you prefer?
I do for every reason it's Miles, right? Every single reason. I mean, because it's just Miles. Because even if you look at the storyline, Peter Parker dies and he's like, "It's your turn, Miles." You know, so it's just like, but, and even just the whole fact, just going back to like Peter Parker didn't have to face off with multiples of Spider-Mans trying to take him out, and on top of that, Miles has electricity powers. He could turn invisible. You know what I mean? And it's just like he has more factors.
He's got swagger, man. He's the Spider-Man with swagger.
He got swag. And it's just like, but I grew up with Peter Parker. So obviously I still like Peter Parker. You know, I'm not going to be like, oh, Peter Parker is nothing. But I would have to definitely go with Miles. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to say is that it's not so much bias. It's just even like if you go off the storyline and off of what he like his powers and what he can do. He can do a little bit more than Peter Parker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Like, but yeah.
I mean, he took on Kingpin, and may I say, the very first Into the Spider-Verse, that Kingpin looks like my cousin. Like, no joke. Seriously, he looks like my cousin. The face, the build, like my cousin has no neck, and he's just like that, right? I'm like, hey, that's my cousin. Every time I go to his house, what's up, Kingpin? And he's like, what are you saying?
No, yeah, I love all the different Spider-Men. Of course, Toby, because he's the original, and then growing up, also Andrew was during my time as well, growing up. And then, Tom Holland's like, this generation's one alongside Miles Morales. But I mean, I think we all kind of love our own, I guess, character, but each one also has like their own special thing that we love about them. So for me, it's kind of hard to like really pick and choose, because I, of course, like Toby because he's the original, but I also love how in the third movie that all three of them like teamed up and they were having like that back and forth, like just that whole them working together and their lines that they were saying
right?
to each other. And he's like because for real, like he's old now, right? And he's still like swinging around and trying to fight the bad guys. Then you see like the younger Tom Holland coming in and like just like kicking ass, and he's like, I got it. But it's I just love how that they portrayed all the three different characters, the three different Spider-Mans in that one movie, and it just like completed that for me. I love seeing that.
But Andrew Garfield was a chump, though. He never even got to fight an alien, right? Like the worst he did was fight like a rhinoceros guy, which was Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
And that's why also that's a good point that you say, because that's why I feel like a lot of people in the long run, might gravitate more towards Tom Holland's, because he has so many cameos. Like his first ever cameo was when he was facing off with Captain America. Civil War. Just that whole scene, like Civil War. He takes his shield And he said something like stupid. He's like, "Hey
On the
guys,
roof!
what's up, guys?" Or something like that. He said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So and then he was just in the Avengers, and he was in End Games, and he's interacted with so many different superheroes, with Iron Man, with the whole entire everybody, right? So where it's like
Yeah.
Tobey
He's got a fourth
Maguire
movie.
and well, yeah, that's gonna go crazy, right? And oh my gosh, and yeah, like it's just, yeah, I feel like his timeline is a lot more exciting or watchable. I don't know the word, but I mean, because like, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just
And
there's more going on.
I feel like he's at the peak of his stride, and now I feel like he's at the middle ground where he's going to come down and hand the torch off maybe after another movie or two. I think we will get our live action Miles because it just makes sense. Now, here's a question, because you're right, depending on which story you read. The torch will be passed and we will no longer have a Peter Parker, maybe in this universe, who knows? And it just makes sense with, like, you know, actors and contracts. So when that day comes, who is the actor that you want to see play Miles?
So I'm glad you asked me this, right? So in 2021, I don't know if you guys remember Spatial. You guys remember Spatial?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to like to build worlds in there. I built a whole like museum for comics and stuff, but then I built in the middle of the museum, there was like a little room that I made walls, and like there was like a thing, right? And then like I made the whole entire inside based off of who is gonna be the new live action Miles Morales. And I put like Jaden Smith, I put Caleb McCollin I don't know how to say his name, Caleb McLaughlin's. I put everybody who I thought was gonna be the live action. And because back then there was a lot of speculation for it, and it's still like 5 years later and we still don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
who do you think it is out of all your speculation, Nation?
So I wanted it back in 2021 to be Jaden Smith, but now I think that it's gonna go to Caleb McLaughlin. Is that how you say his name? Yeah, because we already saw what is her name? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Sadie Sink. Yeah, she already got a Marvel role too. Yeah. So they might just be like, okay, you're already in the same group. We'll just come on to, you know, just come on.
It'd be so strange they make her Gwen. Like somehow
I know, right?
Gwen. But I'm with you because I also want to see that actor. I think Lucas from Stranger Things is a perfect actor to play that role. I really enjoyed him in the series, and I think he's got the swagger, right? Because you got to have someone that's got that swagger in order to like not only deliver the lines with that swagger, but also look cool doing it, right?
Yeah.
And I think he can do it. I guess I could see Jaden Smith as well. I think he's a little bit more tortured in his mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have like the same. I know what you mean, like, but I was more big into it because like, so I don't know if do you know that Jaden Smith, like, he makes music, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember hearing him sing something once. But anyways.
Yeah. But yes, because when I was in high school, I liked his music a lot. Like he was like kind of like big a little bit, but and because he would do collaborations with a lot of other famous artists that I already listened to. And just off the back, because he's like, okay, he's Will Smith's son. So they're like, yeah, I'll make a song with you. You know what I mean? Like, why not? So, but some of his music is actually like kind of good, but not all of it. You know what I mean? Like even his dad like used to make fun of like he would make like parodies of his music and his music videos because they're like, what is he making? You know? But he's like a troubled artist, and he's like a whole thing. He has his own thing going on. But yeah, I liked his music. So then I liked his music. So then when I found, because there was rumors and stuff saying that he might be the next Miles. So I was like, yeah, I like him. I like Miles, or I like Jaden Smith. So I was like, yeah, he's perfect for Miles. You know what I mean?
I didn't like him in After Earth. I'm like, After Earth really kind of threw me off with that. And it wasn't his fault, right? It really was just M. Night Shyamalan. Was that an M. Night Shyamalan movie? Felt like one. It was really boring and old. But yeah, like it more worse. Him and his dad was in that movie. I'm like, man, this is a snores fest. So, and I think that's the last movie I watched with him. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that was my last one with him. Yeah, it's just because it was slow in the beginning, which is normal for some movies, but then towards the middle, it didn't really pick up like how you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like it might have been. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the full. I didn't watch it to the end, right? So because yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but Roni says Donald Glover. So that's a good one, but he's already.
Past his stride.
Yeah, he's like 42.
No, I mean yeah, that too. But he's
No, but
already a
he's the
character.
Prowler. He's the Prowler.
He's the
That's right.
Prowler. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Prowler.
The
He
uncle.
He's the
old.
Prowler.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
I
old.
was like,
I mean, he's old, but
Wildcat.
Rawr.
he's the Prowler. Yeah, he's the Prowler. But they didn't know that he didn't. You have to piece it together because he was buying the tech to be like he wasn't in the costume. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man caught him when he was buying the arsenal or whatever it was to become the
Yeah.
Prowler. You know what I mean? So yeah.
What is up? We got Doctor Strange and also Oz. Both of them. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Good morning.
Oh, speaking of Karate Kid, the one kid from Cobra Kai, Kenny, he's pretty
Oh,
young
yeah.
too for like he could be like on the list of one of the people to play, maybe Miles Morales.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. He would be good too. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know his real name, but that one kid in Cobra Kai.
that one kid. That one
kid.
dude.
Yeah, let me see if it's I mean there's so who was the one that actually voiced Miles Morales?
I don't know.
Like I wonder how old that person is.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's not like old, but he was definitely not the age of Miles Morales. Yeah, like I think I've seen. Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of him, or like when like, yeah, he's maybe like I don't know. I have no idea, but he's not like a teenager. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe he's in his 30s.
I think Caleb McLaughlin would be a really fine choice. Like he's tall enough for the character. He's got almost the same type of hair. If you watch him in Stranger Things season 5, I'm like, man, this is he's beginning to shape up to look like Miles, and it would just be hilarious if by some chance Sadie Sink, because I know there's all these things where Sadie Sink could be playing all these different characters, right? It'd be crazy if she somehow is Gwen Stacy, right? And those two get together.
Yeah,
it would just be crazy. So
yeah, and that's another like why they would pick him, because they know that the fans would want to see that. Like like people would buy tickets to be like, we want to see the two kids from Stranger Things become Marvel superheroes and just be superheroes, you know?
Because they love them so much in the show, why not continue that elsewhere, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of like Mike and 11. There's so much people petitioning now. We want a series to see what happens with them, right? Because, in the end, if the fans want it and the trend sells, the trend's going to sell, right?
Yeah.
At least for one season or movie. So we'll get at that. Booth, we're at an hour and 10 minutes. We're probably going to go for another 20 minutes. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's fun talking to you guys. You guys have good conversations.
Man, I am Portuguese. And so what that means is if we meet in person, you're going to run away from me because I'm going to talk your brains off because I talk way too much. I'm part Portuguese, yes.
Yes.
So. That's amazing. That's so good.
Right, so.
I don't know if it's amazing, man. Like my neighbors sometimes avoid me. I'm like, hey, what's up, neighbor? The door's shut already. Like, yeah, he doesn't want to hear my mouth.
They see him coming, like, oh, close the shades. Here he comes.
I tell anyone at Decon, either you're gonna irritate with me because I'm gonna talk your brains off, or
See, Ronnie, if I hear the story one more time.
But anyway, so this is part.
Years.
Oh shoot, sorry. I don't have it here. Continue. Run the show, D. I didn't have a banner up. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Ronnie's heard all our stories for like the past 3 to probably almost 4 years, right, Ronnie? And he keeps coming back, so he's not tired of it yet. Okay, so you did talk about being inspired by Gary Vee. So is that a project that you're into now? Like, are you into Be Friends at all, or just
No.
him being like a motivational speaker kind of got you in like doing more stuff in
Yeah,
your
like
life?
he he was talking about NFTs. So that's when I heard him talking about them, on his social and all this stuff. But when he was speaking about them, it was before he launched Be Friends. He was just trying to telling people, he was like, well, there's this new thing called NFTs. You guys got to get into it, all this stuff. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I'll look into it. And then I found Randy. But then he came up with ReFriends. And if you saw the original ReFriends, it was like doodles of like giraffes and elephants on like a napkin. So I was like, dude, I don't want to do this. I don't
And
want
they're worth a ton of money.
No, they are.
It's nuts, man.
Now they
I'm like,
are, yeah.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, but his I feel like why he did that, it was kind of just saying like how early we are with NFTs, to where like the utilities are not here yet, the use case is not here yet. It's just ran by DGen. So like if Gary Vee is gonna hop in, he's like, you really just have to do it on a piece of paper. That's all you gotta do. That's what the space is about right now.
Yeah.
I mean back then, not like right now, but
yeah.
It's funny that you bring up Gary Vee, because it really was Gary Vee as well that kind of got my attention in NFTs. My chiropractor got me into NFTs. Yes, Ronnie, you've heard this story. I won't tell it. But the point I'm trying to make is I watched a Gary Vee video about NFTs, and he told me the whole strategy on how NFTs are going to get big. It's going to be a taper off point. It's just going to have a blow over. Then we're going to have like a cold season where NFTs are going to be like scammy. And then out of the rubble of that, NFTs will be reborn with the tech, collectibles, and everything in between. And that's kind of what we're seeing, Booth, is everything he said in that video back in 2020. Now, here's the one thing I remember about Gary Vee. And I was like you. He basically was telling me, or he's telling somebody on a video on how to search eBay, how to go to garage sales and find the next best thing. And what you do is you go to eBay, go to sold completed items, go and look for something right there, right? Like say if you go to like the garage sale, you go look for a mug, grab a bunch of mugs, go home, sold completed items, go and look and see what you got, educate, and find out that there's a club for mug life. You realize that you could sell this mug for like $200, and there you go. Quarter turns into $200, and then you know what I mean. He's telling you the whole flipping game, and just very motivational speaker. But I remember these videos, these motivational videos that he gave, and a lot of that's playing out.
Yeah, and it is, and I remember what you're talking about when he was saying that like out of the rubble will be only certain projects gonna make it, right? And I feel like that really. I mean, obviously, we still have these newer projects like M on X, and Candy Digital has been around, but it wasn't around like as long as Vivi. Like Vivi has been around to where you've seen projects fall and they're not around. I mean, they're not around anymore, and Vivi is still here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whereas like Vivi is, I feel like Vivi is one of those projects where he was definitely talking about them. You know what I mean?
They outlasted Recur. They outlasted HRO. They outlasted who else left? Swoosh. They outlasted The Matrix, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Exactly. Funko.
Yeah.
So shout out to Vivi.
Yeah. And
still going.
Yeah, that's why that's one of the biggest reasons, because to go back to D, why she was saying like I think she had said why are you still here is because of that. Like Recur had big. I mean, they had just had one, or they had what did they have? Hello Kitty and Nickelodeon and Hey
They had
Arnold
one of the biggest
stuff.
IPs. Hello Kitty is one of the biggest IPs, and go look at a Hello Kitty NFT. I mean, if you're a person that likes relics of the past, then you might collect those. Not financial advice, but you can get those things super cheap on the floor, right? And that's the first Hello Kitty NFT on the blockchain, and it's just sitting there.
And so you're saying Recur had that, right? So I didn't really follow Recur too much, but are those? So I know Recur is not around, but are those NFT like the Hello Kitty NFT? Are those still around?
I'll show you the Hello Kitty NFT. I'll show it to you right now.
That and the Care Bears too, right? The Care Bears.
Gosh, even the Care Bears. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we have some of the Care Bears. Yeah, even what's that other one? Squid? No.
Oh yeah, Quid. I was
yeah.
big in Quid. I was big with Quid. Yes.
Okay.
Kuwait was crazy because they had Rick and Morty. They had Rick and Morty.
Oh.
I like Rick and Morty a lot, right? And then they I don't know if you guys know Steven Universe. That one's a good one. That one came out in 2000. It's a little bit newer. It was like 2013 or 14. But that one's a really good, it's for, let me see, Hello Kitty. Oh, I remember these. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
the
these.
3D glasses.
Ain't worth anything.
Oh, what is the floor?
Here. Well, let me go to the floor. I just don't want to show my stuff. Let's go right here. Floor is $6.
Ooh, look, Karopi. That's Karopi, right?
Yeah, here, let's so this is all the NFTs. So if you're somebody that believes that maybe one day some rich guy will think that this is the very first Hello Kitty NFT, $6. You can hold a relic from the past, and maybe it might be something worth something in the future, not financial advice.
I think so, because not so much, like, I don't know the scarcity of it, but one of my other streams, I was looking up the Action Fire Boba Fett. It's not an NFT, it's like a physical collectible. And it sold a record sale for $1.3 million, but it was because it was discontinued when they were created.
Yeah.
So they only so it played on more scarcity, but it still goes to like, okay, like Recur is discontinued, like, in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously they did get to mint all of what they wanted to mint with Hello Kitty, but it's still kind of like playing onto that, like, Recur is not even around anymore. This is like what's left over. You can still get, and it still has the FA. It's still the first appearance or the first ever Hello Kitty NFT. So maybe, who knows, in 20, 30 years, they'd be like, yeah, this is still valuable, like.
Yeah, and then the ones that probably have the rare traits are the ones that you're gonna go for because they're more value, because there's less of them on the blockchain and stuff like that. And I feel you for that. And even same with like the Care Bears and stuff like that. So I hold some of that. I even hold one Recur pass just in case that thing might be a relic of the past, where they're like, oh, you guys remember Recur? You know what I mean? And these passes are gone or something, or lost in a wallet somewhere, and I hold maybe one that's still definable. I don't know. You never know, right? But what else can you do with it, right? No one else will buy it. So
yeah, wishful thinking.
I remember Recur. I remember they had I think Nickelodeon. They were gonna drop Ninja Turtles. They dropped Star Trek. Yeah. That was terrible. That was like the worst. But it kind of goes to show that there's a lot of projects that come out here. And one thing I noticed in Web3 is money. People will burn money like crazy, and either they'll do it properly. Like a good example is Vivi's been really good at their war chest and really being able to like not run out of money and stay afloat. Versus, you have other projects. You don't know what's going behind the curtains. Like Futureverse, right? They were insolvent, right? And like they went from insolvency from like 1 month of like, yes, we're gonna have a metaverse, to like, we're gone, we're done, and we're shutting up shop, right? And that just feels like how Web3 has always been. Everyone just shoots hot and heavy, and all of a sudden you're either there or you're gone the next day. And so other projects like Vivi, McFarlane, Digitoys, and even Candy, they've been able to stay afloat. Not easily, from what I've noticed, but they're still here. And I think that's a testament. And I'm with you. At the end of the day, if you're looking at IP, Vivi is still the number one, and they're still rocking their socks. So let's go.
Yeah, and and while I still have you guys here and we're still talking, I do want to ask you. So because I've been hearing about Futureverse, but I don't know about it yet. I did want to look into it, but I didn't know about all that stuff you just said, like they weren't solvent and all that stuff. So why do you think that happened? Like, what do you think was going on with them?
Oh, I think they just burned through their money, and they were probably counting on investments coming in to keep the lights on for the next quarter or maybe the next year. And maybe at one time they did, but we had a flash crash, right, in October, where a lot of people lost their ass in the crypto market. And that was around the time that they actually came insolvent, was around that flash crash. I mean, if you notice, CT or crypto Twitter is dead. Not a lot of people are talking about crypto right now because of what's going on in the world and stuff like that. So I truly believe that's what happened. And and this is all speculation. I know nothing. I'm stupid. But if they became insolvent right around the time everyone lost their ass in the crypto market, then that means that they were running hot for a very long time. They have no reserves in the war chest, right? And if you really go and look at what they were doing a lot. Like they were doing so much. They had a music thing, they had a metaverse thing, they had a freaking AI thing, they had a universal royalty thing, they had their own blockchain. They had way too much going on. And you know, the fatter you get, the more expensive it gets to keep the lights on. So I think it was a little bit of that, along with a lot of what they were doing was confusing. We were trying to explain what Futureverse was doing. They weren't really good at talking either. I think we tried reaching out to them. We had to like reach out to like community members to really help us out. So the project was confusing, but I think at the end of the day, they were just running hot and heavy. They ran out of money, and they didn't get the investments to come and bail them out in the end. I think that's what happened. Not sure.
I mean, that's what we're going up because we really don't know what happened in the background. But I think they just had
Ronnie said it best. Many grifts in Web3.
High hopes, but not enough funding. I would assume.
So they are still around, or no?
No, they're gone, bro. Yeah, and so basically, so Candy was acquired by Futureverse, right? And then Futureverse went into receivership. That basically means all the assets went to the bank, to where they could try to recoup the investment loss, because they couldn't pay their bills, right? And so a lot of Futureverse assets were being sold in the receivership, and so part of that sell was Candy Digital to now Tad, who is the former CEO of Sotheby's and Madison Square Garden. Now, I might be missing a few nuances in this, so Twitter, don't get me. So I might be forgetting a few things, but that's the gist of what happened. And that's why Candy now is having a revitalization, because now they're owned by someone else. And I kind of like what's going on now with this new guy, because this guy's been around. He's a businessman. He's run 2 successful businesses, and he keeps saying stuff like up and to the right. And that is an old equity saying for stock market, saying the chart goes up and to the right. And so people start talking like that, Booth. You know, you got like big players talking like that. You got the Real Vision guy like Raul Pal now rolling with the Candy guys, right? But at the same time, you got Vivi dropping all of this fire. Like one thing that blew my mind was Vivi sold out of Mickey's and Friends. Now I know DigiToys just dropped their Mickey's and Friends as well, right? And they sold out of that as well. But Vivi sold out of their Mickey's and Friends that had way more supply, double the supply of DigiToys, and they sold that out. And what's crazy about that collection is the collection is still pretty high. I remember Mickey's were selling for $5, like maybe for like that first half hour. Now good luck getting a Mickey like what, over 15 gems. And that's my whole point with the whole thing. Like they sold out of a collection that is not first appearance on the blockchain, that had way more supply, but they look good, right? The stuff looks good. And a lot of people are like, oh, these are static images. I'm like, these are digital toys. These are digital collectibles. They're statues. And I think people don't realize that people just want that cool factor. I mean, come on. When you get that Millennium Falcon on Monday, you can't tell me you're not going to go take a picture with it. You're not going to park that thing right outside of your house and put it right next to your car. You're not going to put the freaking cockpit around you, and you're not going to take a picture of you in it. You're going to do all that, right? Because it's cool. And what's so cool about that, Booth, is it's simple, right? It's just a picture, augmented reality. Simple things will bring people in. What people want is an experience. They want to be happy. They want their value, right? But if you keep people happy, people will stay. And so I believe Vivi has really figured out that sauce a little bit better than in the past, because in the past it wasn't so good. And it's getting better. And, you know, we really just need projects like this to be better, because when projects are better, then they make other projects be better. And if the space gets better, we're going to bring more people in. What do you think about that, Booth?
I think that you're completely right. And I even see like kind of like Osman and Ronnie, they're talking about like, yeah, Raul Pal is definitely starting to get into the NFT and collectible space, right? But it's still like, I still have that question is like, even with Raul Paul and even just with a lot of other big names like Gary Vee, he would talk about NFTs and collectibles and all this stuff. Everything he would say, it was literally what Vivi was doing. And it kind of goes to where I'm just like, okay, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
You're
sorry.
good. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of questioning like, why isn't Raul Paul like Vivi has a lot more to offer, in my opinion, than Candy Digital. I'm not saying Candy Digital is bad. I'm just saying like a lot of like even Gary Vee when he talks about NFTs and collectibles, it almost seems like he's referencing Vivi, and I feel like a lot of big names aren't even mentioning Vivi. You know what
Why
I
do
mean?
you think that is?
So I have a crazy mind, right? So I think like the little slip up with Logan Paul kind of was like they had to like kind of sweep that under the rug because it's like I feel like in the back curtains or whatever behind the scenes, David Yu and Dan are like, look, we don't want to be a security. We don't want anybody to pump the project. So if you're a big name like Raul Paul or whoever you are, just try not to. You don't have to mention us. Like you don't have to come and sit next to us. And not to where like they don't like them, but because like just like with Elon Musk, like all he did was tweet about what is it like um, what is that little dog?
Doge.
A
Oh yeah,
Doge,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
All he did was tweet about the Doge dog, and then Doge token went to the moon. You know what I'm saying? So like influencers really have a big, but then this can still be seen as it can be seen as a pump and dump and a scam and all that stuff. But also it could be maybe like kind of promising somebody a ROI, or I mean, it could be seen as an investment. You know what I mean? Maybe.
You're making an assessment, and guys, this is just an assessment that
Yeah.
it could be possible that Vivi is purposely stunting eyeballs on looking at them because they're not ready for those eyeballs.
And I feel like that's been said a lot that like Vivi was like, okay, look, what is the point of marketing? I mean, they're starting to now, but still, they're not really fully marketing. Like they're starting to, but like they're still like, okay, look, we're still building. You know what I mean? And there's still regulations and laws being passed, and they're not officially a non-security yet, right? It's still that the Clarity Act still has to go through and all this stuff. But so we're still in the water, like the gray water. So I don't know the reference, but we're still not in the clear yet. And on top of still not being in the clear. Sorry, what are you saying?
No. I feel you on your sentiment. I'm bad at cutting people off, by the way, Booth.
No, you're good. You're good.
So I agree with you that I feel like everybody knows what's going on here because I'm just going to say it like this. Out of all the projects, David and Dan are top G because of all of the IP under the umbrella. Exactly. And as much as you guys want to say, oh, they got so much supply, they can always enable some type of rule of attrition. Rule of attrition doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen today. It can happen tomorrow via a burn or whatever, right? So everyone's like, oh, too much supply. I'm like, supply can be taken away. And that's the best thing about digital, if you think about it, Booth. The one thing about digital versus the physical is you cannot burn physical things. You can't be like, yo, you bought this 3 years ago. Would you like to send it to us so we can incinerate it for you so we can get rid of the supply? That ain't going to happen in the physical world. But in the digital world, that can happen, right? But anyways, I digress. But the point being is I can see them stunting their growth because they're not ready for it for a few factors. They're trying to go public. And the one thing they want to do when they go public is they want to make sure they're squeaky clean. They want to make sure they're above board. And they want to make sure they're compliant. And the one thing they don't want to do is go crazy moonshot, and something in between from the moonshot to the moon is not up to regulatory standards. That's what I think.
Yeah, and the regulatory standards are still being established. And on top of that, even I agree with you with that, but on top of that, we don't even have all of the features that we need. We don't have the collection is not built yet. The VV
app
site
does not have a good review. You know what
I mean?
The app is right.
Even just me, like I love the app. I use VV all the time, but it's so hard to use it. You know what I mean? and it's just like, yeah, it's not even ready. So it's kind of like I could definitely see, like, without them saying it, them being like, yeah, like you're saying, like they're stunning their growth, right?
And I suspect you're right, because last year we tried to do a big collaboration with Decentraland and we got shot down, you know, to try to do this collaboration. And both D and I were wondering, why would they do that? Unless they weren't ready for it, because the product's just not mainstream yet. If we really think about it, it's not yet, right? But the one thing that I do like about things that aren't mainstream, people are still using it, it's still talked about, and it's looking like it's not being left alone. They're doing stuff with it, right? Whether it's VVverse or whether it's stuff with the app, things are slowly improving. The one thing I noticed that's improved is the quality of these collectibles, right? At the end of the day, does it look good? Does it sound good? And it's the shit badass, and it's pretty much checking all the boxes. Because I don't go for drops, Booth. It's a rarity you see me go for drop. The last drop I went for was Ren and Stimpy because there was nostalgia, and they got me for that. But this Millennium Falcon, yeah, without hesitation, I am going to put money in the app on Monday because I don't have enough gems. And depending if like FOMO hits, I might pull the lever again, right? Because I want that Genesis Mint, and I'm a big collector of spaceships. Like, dude, I've got spaceships everywhere around here, like in my hands right here. Like, I am a big model spaceship collector. So for me, even though I'm a Star Trek fan, that is something I need to have. I have it in physical. I mean, we have like a bunch of Millennium Falcons in the closet. My daughter's got the Disney version that we got from Disneyland. So like, I gotta have it. I just gotta have it. And it's one of those things, like, if you can get me to come out of retirement to pull the lever, you are doing something right.
Right.
Because I'm a critic.
I feel you. And I don't go for drops either. Like, yeah, but I see in the comments that I think that this made me think of something too, that this might be another thing that, like, maybe more of like a smaller factor of why they're what did you had said, not suppressing, but withholding.
They're kind of stunting their growth.
Stunting the growth. But maybe, so if you think about it, like, let's say like there is a day that they'll be ready, right? And so like, think about it, like, if there was a day that they were going to be ready, and then they were like, okay, now we're going to start taking it serious and drop. Now we'll drop Spider-Man. Now we'll drop back. Like, they've been dropping a lot of things that are like huge name brand things. So maybe like, if you look at the way that they're strategizing their drops and the IP, maybe they're waiting for everything that they have, licenses that they have to roll out, to be dropped, to be released. And then, you know what I mean? Because then once there's like mass adoption, they could be like, look, we have Predator, we have Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all of these.
The
like,
store stocked.
Like we have released everything, and all the competitors, they can't. The mass adoption, the whole entire world is gonna be like, you have no choice but to come to VV. We have everything.
You make a good point. You make a good point, and I hear people constantly say they got too much stuff, right? And these are people that I don't think have either run a business or have been in retail. When the degens say, "Oh, too much supply," they're coming from the Web3 side of things, right? Where the collection's got to be scarce, and we're kind of looking at it like this is art, right? But with Vivi, they're more about creating a digital economy, right? We're going to have scarce stuff. They got the one-on-ones. They've got scarce comics. They've got big collections, like, Stormtroopers. That makes sense because everybody wants a trooper, right? So there is a lot of stuff for everyone. It's really a cornucopia of things for everybody, right? But in retail, you never say, you know what? We got to have only 5 cans of soup because it's the only way we can keep the value up, because if not, people are going to be buying these cans of soup for 99 cents instead of $10 a can, right? That's not going to happen. And that's what's happening, I'm assuming, with them, is they're filling up the shop and the shelves with certain items. Certain items are not going to have the value prop like a lot of people think in the back room they will have, right? But what those items will do is they will attract the outside world to buy them, because really that's what they're for, right? You may have stacked like 100 Mickeys, but maybe those Mickeys are really to attract the next wave of people that'll buy a Mickey and then maybe go for that drop or that one of one, because a store will get only popular over time. But the only way a store is going to be popular is if you have something in there for everybody. You know what I mean? Not everyone's a Batman fan. Not everyone's a Spider-Man fan. Not everyone's a Ren and Stimpy fan, you know, or whatever. But if you have art, you've got DC, Marvel, comics, and whatever other verticals. And if you guys watched BE stream the other day, shout out to BE. They announced they got 2 other verticals that they're going to be working with. I think, and Omili is right, I think TCG is one of them, because I've been hearing other projects want to get into the TCG as well. I look at Azuki's. I look at the things that people are doing on Abstract. People are getting into TCG. Look at what happened with Elmon X. You cannot tell me Vivi's not looking at the trading card game and saying, that really fits our business model, because it does. What do you think about that, Booth?
I can't speak on TCG because I don't know about TCG. I don't know about TCG, but yeah, man. I mean, I see it growing. Like I see it like slipping into like my feed or my algorithm and stuff. So where it's like, and you know what I mean, like to where people are talking about TCG, Magic, Pokemon, physical cards, and like you said, Logan Paul and all these big names. Like they're getting into like these physical collecting, and I'm like, that's cool. Like it's starting to take off, right? And I always say the thing to where like, where were you guys in the early 2000s? Because I grew up where like if you had Pokemon cards, they'd be like, you're a nerd, and they'd beat you up and all this stuff. And I would go to Pokemon, and like nobody was into it back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
It wasn't cool back then. It wasn't cool back then.
No,
but
that in comic books.
But yeah, but now it's like everybody wants it. So that's like, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, like.
But it goes back to the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, like stocks, crypto, kind of shitty right now. But everyone's coming back to the collecting game. Pokemon is now, the market cap for Pokemon cards in general is the same equal definable amount as the S&P 500. Crazy.
That's
you know what
crazy.
I mean? And so if that's what's going on, right? And you got Logan Paul now, right? With the whole manga thing. Thank you, Logan Paul, even though I'm not a fan of him. Because now everyone's going to go FOMO Natsukuku on One Piece, right? And, you know, it's just the next trend. And then the next trend. You got Mr. Beast. He kind of started it first, right? With the PFP, right? And you are 100% right, Booth. It just takes one influencer that maybe Vivi already has, like, backed up in a corner or something like that. Because I remember at one time Digitoys did use that lady from YouTube. Just takes one for them to go viral. But do they have the rails in place to handle that virality? That's all it means. That's really what matters, right? I've been in the communication business for 2 decades. I've helped implement internet phones when they first came out. You don't go and launch a product if you can't handle the load for the product, right? And so you might not be too far off on the stunt of growth.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting.
But as long as they could stunt it, it would be the best, right? Because then we could just accumulate as much as we want, right? We just keep buying and buying, and just wait. It's a waiting game. So like, as long as we're waiting.
David said, right? David said a lot of, you know, when you're collecting stuff like Pokemon cards, you want to go for the first appearance, the first printed, right? Either first manufactured, first out of the packs, right?
Yeah.
Well, the first collection is the first collection, right? And then the next people are going to say like, oh, there's so much. But sooner or later, they're going to implement the law of attrition because supply can go down. And this is a conversation I was having with D last night on our Candy Digital stream, where I was like, what would make you burn a cowl, right? Now, I'm a big Bat Cowl fan, so I have 15 cowls between the Legacy and the OG. But what would make me burn a cowl? Now, one of the cowls I bought for like maybe $1,000, $800, and so on down the line. What would make you burn that? Well, what would make me burn a cowl? Not that we're going to burn cowls, is a chance to be whitelisted for Action Comics 1. If I got a whitelist for that, that would make me burn something very valuable. Now, let's use that same burning attrition model with Vivi, right? Vivi comes out and says, yo, you guys want this gold Death Star? Well, check this out. You guys got a bunch of them Lukes, right? We got to get them gone. So, like, you know, you burn 2 of these Lukes, you are whitelisted. You still got to pay for it, but you're whitelisted for this gold Death Star for 300 gems, right? You know, there's only 50 of them, right? Or you can go for the other Death Star, which has like maybe 3,000 of them for like maybe 77 gems. But you could do something like that. You cannot tell me whales aren't going to go for that golden Death Star, right? That's only 50 of them, you
Yeah.
know?
And
it might
yeah.
even come with a physical, right? And hence you're creating some type of rule of attrition.
Yeah, and I agree with you, right? And so I agree with that, and I didn't really think about that. I just started getting into like learning about like all the BB Burns and Trey, like BB Common Guy had to kind of tell me about how that works. But when I first started making videos, I would kind of sorry it oh, okay, I understand what happened.
Good.
Yeah, sorry. But so when I first started making videos, I would kind of apply the opposite logic, like not like like the law of attrition is kind of saying like the supply reducing, but I would make videos about comics, about how the edition sizes are very small if you think about when we get new users. So instead of the supply decreasing and that having that effect, instead of the supply of users increasing, so that it makes the supply that we have right now seem a lot smaller. So because like let's say like some comics have like I remember
60,
when I first
60,000.
oh yeah, I was gonna say 60,000, but there's one I like to reference is like Spider-Man number 14. It's the FA of Green Goblin, right? I remember I went on, I didn't go on. I commented on Randy's thing. I was like, that one has such a low edition size. He was like, it has like 40,000 editions. That's too big. But I was looking at the physical. Like, I mean, I was talking about the one on VV, but I would look at the physical, and if you look up the physical, so I made number 14. How many physical comics they printed? It was over like 200,000. It was like three. It was from 250,000 to 300,000 physical copies back in the 1960s or 70s, right? And then obviously through time, like how you were saying, like the law of attrition, or like I don't know how to say that, but yeah, but like yeah,
You
so
just call it the rule of attrition or law of attrition.
yeah, and then exactly, but then so I started making the videos, and I learned that okay, like obviously as of today, there's not over 200,000 circling around in the world, you know what I mean? But if you look up CGC has all of the graded, like how many they've graded and how many people have turned in, and there's still a big supply that are out there today where it makes VV's edition sizes look not that big. It's because we don't have that many users. So let's say like we get mass adoption, and David used to always say like he's aiming for 1 million users. Even if we have 1 million users and there's 60,000, 40,000 editions compared to 1 million people that want to buy it, you know what I mean? Like
Well,
it's
dude,
just like
honestly, like it really just takes 6,000 people to hold 10 copies, and your supply is gone.
that's it.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, and so, and I have a really good example on what you were saying about comics, right? Like, I'll go back to X-Men #1. There were 8 million copies printed of that, right? And those were direct editions, but there was like, I think 150,000 that were newsstands. Now, back in the 90s, newsstands were the no-no. You didn't want the newsstand, right? But now it's flipped the script where the newsstands are more popular because those are the ones you got off the spin rack versus the direct editions came nicely mailed to you already in a bag and board. And that's why a lot of the newsstands are worth a lot. But go back to X-Men 1, 8 million copies. But if you own that newsstand and it's graded, and because of the law of attrition, rule of attrition, a lot of those 8 million copies either got burned, trashed, thrown in, your back pocket. They're not graded. A lot of them aren't in a 9.8, maybe even a 9.9. But if you got like a freaking newsstand in a 9.9, that's worth a lot. And if it's also signed by Jim Lee and all those cohorts, it's even more. So, really, supply doesn't mean a lot as long as that supply goes down over time, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, like the burning factors definitely does take a play, but I'm banking more on like even if, because there's a lot of things that probably won't get burned, like dang, this I think FA Vader has 5,000 editions or something like that, or I don't
Something
think it
like
has
that, like
5,000
5 or
editions.
6,000 editions.
Yeah, and sometimes like some people might think this is too big, but it's like, okay, if we have like back to like mass adoption, like David is aiming for 1 million users. If we just have a lot more users, 5,000 will look a lot smaller. It's just because we have a small community right now. You know what I mean? So where that's why like my
Yeah.
perspective of like the VV, like sometimes I'll look at certain collectibles and I'm like, why are they going under retail? Why are they putting price so low? And a lot of people will be like, well, the edition size is way too big. And it's like, bro, like once we get more users, that's gonna look very small. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well,
not like we're
4,000,
not
right?
really.
That's a
Is
thousand
that
users, hold 4. Like only 1,000 users. So if 1,000 users hold 4, there's your 4,000 supply gone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so people don't look at that perspective. And shout out to Chris Severs, because he's the one that actually brought that perspective to me, where it's like, you know, because we would talk about this. D and I met Chris in Maui. He actually flew down to Hawaii, and we've had conversations about supply. And he's a mint hunter, right? And I remember him telling me, like, Hinano, honestly, it only takes 6,000 people to hold 10 of these, and there's your supply. And I'm like, dude, that just makes a ton of sense. You know what I mean? Same with these 4,000. It only takes 4 people, 1,000 people. They only got a whole 4. There's your supply, right? And then do the math after that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's the Rolexes out there and the Mr. MC ones that own more than 4. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because
1
that's
plus
funny.
1
Like
equals 11.
who said? Oh, yeah. And that's funny you had said 4 because I hold 4 Darth Vaders, but then on one of my other streams with Trey was like, let me look up how many Squibs holds, and Squibs holds like
Oh.
400. So I was like, okay,
What?
like, so I was like, okay, like I thought I had.
There you
I
go,
gotta
man.
get more. I gotta get more. Like we gotta get more.
We
Damn.
just need
Yeah.
like 3 more squibs, and then there goes the supply.
Yeah.
There goes
but,
everything. Yeah.
That's
But
why I
yeah,
don't
and-
own one, man. Mr. Squib's got them all.
But yeah, definitely like burns are gonna. Sorry, what were you saying, D?
No, yeah,
I'll be
the
right back, guys.
burns. Yeah,
Yeah,
the burns
like,
for sure like help kind of like deplete the total supply. Makes it more scarce.
Exactly. And yeah, because I don't know, he's making a good point to where like the burns do definitely do that, but it's just like in my perspective, and like I'm not, and I agree with him, right? And like once he said that, it kind of like opened my eyes to that. But as of right now, I feel like the users that we have is not gonna you're not gonna see that burn effect really drop the supply like you want to see it, because we don't have as many users. Even with Omi, with like Omi burning, like sometimes like I don't know if I say his name right. Is it like Abi? I don't know if you follow them. Abi.
I don't know if I don't think I followed them, or
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know them yet. If they're like more into Omi, then probably not.
Yeah. So it's called Abi Burns, and he posts like the daily Omi burns for Stacker, like the charts and the numbers and all that stuff. How much Omi we burn every day, and like how much Omi we've burned so far. And it's and I think today it just got over 500 million Omi burned total.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I always make like videos saying like, okay, like a lot of people like see this, and even in the comments are like, yeah, let's go. But if you see it off bat, it's very misleading, because if you see 500 million burned, you're like, yes, that's a big number, it's good. But if you look at the circulating supply, there's 280 billion. So 500 million is not even 1%. Like, you know what I mean? But like that's what I'm trying to say. Like it kind of goes back to, and I don't ever want to like FUD. I don't ever comment like, this is not a lot. This is nothing. But like if you kind of like look at the numbers, you're kind of like, okay, this is not that much. But at the same time, it just goes to like, okay, we don't have enough users yet. Like the burn mechanism is very powerful, right? Like how he's saying, like if we start burning stuff, then yes, like it'll increase the price because of the scarcity. But then it's just the user base isn't there. But both sides kind of apply. Like, okay, scarcity could come in decreasing the supply, or scarcity could come with increasing the user base. You know what I mean? So we're like, you don't like however much we have already will look small compared to if we have a bunch of more new users. You know what I mean?
You know, that makes a ton of sense. Sometimes you don't need to implement any attrition because then you can just supplement attrition with more people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's
and
a two-way street.
yeah, it's both is gonna happen. So it's just gonna be like a double factor because once we get new users, then there's a more possibility. There's more people to burn things, right? So then that factor still plays into it. So it's just gonna be both ways. Both highways are gonna be increasing the price. You know what I mean? So
And right now, NFTs is trending. If you look at Google Trends, if you go and look at the sentiment on CT, it's trending more than crypto itself, right? And so, and I think it goes back to what you were saying, right? It's like Pokemon. Pokemon goes in phases, right? I think it's like every 4 to 5 years, and now we're at this cycle at NFTs again. And like you got a lot of people talking about it, you know, from the Ral Pals to the Tads to you got the Claynosaurs out here, and you got other people buying Bored Apes and stuff like that. You got Luca out here buying a bunch of NFTs and Pudgy making a big thing. So I feel like we're in a good place. And I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to see what's happening next this year. Feels so exciting, right?
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was last year, but I feel like this year is like even better, and the projects and communities that we're a part of, and I think just everything in general with the markets going down and like towards the end of last year, I think this year like people and projects are coming back up again, and it's just like this momentum within the different communities is just getting stronger, and just more exciting, more things coming for a lot of different projects that we're in. So I'm glad to be part of the journey, whether like wherever it's going. I'm here for the long journey, and hopefully everyone just keeps moving up and to the right. And
speaking of the journey, guys, we are getting close to the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to pass the baton to you, Booth, while I get the giveaway. Actually, D, I need you to pull up a race, and I get the giveaway thing ready, because we are going to be doing a Vivi supported giveaway. Shout out to Vivi for donating a random Vivi digital collectible. We're going to run this at the end of the stream. I want to also thank Booth for coming on and hanging out with us, man. This was a lot of fun talking story with you. We got to get to know you a little bit better. And I love that you're streaming, man, and just keep that stuff going, because the one thing that D and I have always been trying to do here is to get people to either create some type of content. I know not everybody wants to be a streamer, but to see the likes of you, Bill, you got, Trey coming out again, and a bunch of other new people as well. Rob Cooks, we saw you as well, man. I love that. The more of us out here, the more this space gets perpetuated and gets pushed. And if we can get more people in here, then it vilifies the space, because a rising tide lifts all ships, and we all got our little boats here, and we're all going to move up with the tide as well. So super stoked. Booth, last question. You can ask us whatever you want, as long as it's not a social security number thing. Go ahead.
I don't know. Oh, let me see. Okay, this is a good question, right? Because this is something that I'm really interested in, that I've been interested in since the last summer, right? I've been trying to get into, but I want to really study and look around. But are you into NFT projects that have metaverse land? And if you are, then which ones would you recommend? Let's do that, right? If you are, I don't know.
So right now, I don't know much NFT projects out here that has a ready metaverse that has land. I mean, I'm not in the Earth 2. I know that they've got something going on over there, and maybe I need to study a little bit more with Bill and Zombie. But honestly, my metaverse play was Futureverse until they went insolvent, as well as Vivi. But then Vivi kind of like decided to put it on the back burner and develop more on that side. So honestly, other than Decentraland, and I don't really have much NFTs there. The only play right now for and I don't want to say metaverse yet, because to be very honest, no one's really made one very comparable. But if we're going for a construct, a virtual land, a sandbox game, I'd say that Viviverse is the only one right now that's available where you can play with IP stuff, right? I think Digitoys has something going on with them as well. You got McFarlane with their viewer app, but it's very limited in terms of what you can do versus on the Viviverse. It's more of a sandbox Sim City type of thing. I know Josh has also got something going on, but to be very quite honest, other than Earth 2, and I'm not in that, I don't know anything going on right now that has those two applicable things.
I feel you definitely, and that's why I had asked you about Futureverse, because I've been hearing it slowly, and I was even listening to an older Raoul Paul interview today, and he was talking about Futureverse. But I think this is before they had shut down or closed or something like that. So I was like, dang, Futureverse, I gotta. And then you said it, so I was like, dang, I want to learn about that. But you should. So if I don't know if you're interested, right? So if you look into Other Side is really good. It's the metaverse for Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? So they have their own metaverse. It's called Other Side, and they have their land is called Other Deeds. But another feature with their metaverse is it's called ODK. So basically, you can import other NFTs. Like, I mean, mutant apes are already kind of in that ecosystem, but you can have Kodas, you have CryptoPunks, you can just like a lot of other JPEG 2D NFTs. You could bring them into their metaverse, but a part of their ODK is that not only can you import these NFTs, but also a part of the ODK is that you can take these 2D NFTs and make them 3D playable characters with animations, run around, jumping, all this stuff. So now, like a lot of I used to have that same kind of judgment, like they're just 2D JPEGs, they don't do anything. Look at Vivi, they have 3D NFTs. But now with the Other Side metaverse, you can take those 2D NFTs and you can make them 3D figures, and they could run around and jump and all this stuff. You know what I mean? With their ODK feature, which is crazy. And then I think somebody made a post the other day to where they were comparing the floors, and they were saying because the floor right now, I mean, obviously there's some Other Side deed or Other Deeds, which is their land, that's somewhat expensive, but the floor right now is $250. But they were saying the last bull cycle, it was at least one ETH. You know what I mean? To where it's if you get in now, and then Bored Ape Yacht Clubs already has that kind of it's gonna pump. You know what I mean? Just that degen factor, where it's anything they do is gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? So but a lot of people are not looking into the Other Side. You know what I mean? To where it's it's very slept on. To where you could get in at $250 for a metaverse land, and it could possibly go crazy. You know what I mean? So that's something I really want to get into.
Other Side. Okay, we'll have to look into that, especially with the Bored Apes.
Yeah, I've heard of what you talked about, and I know there's other projects we covered like Crypto Voxels, Ethereum Towers, and I think two other ones where you can port in your NFTs. Second Life. Well, no, Second Life isn't necessarily. That's more of a Web 2 thing, right? But that's an interesting ecosystem as well. But no, yeah, there is other, I guess, metaverse worlds where you can port in your collectibles, and we used to we had another individual that used to do a lot of shows with us on the Web3 side, and he used to take us to different metaverses, and we used to kind of explore all these things. But really quick, guys, if you want a chance to win a TV digital collectible, enter an emoji in the chat, any emoji, a smiley face, whatever. And then we're going to put your name on a race before the end of the stream. You got 65 eyeballs watching us right there. What's up, Sith J? I see you. Yeah, enter anything in there. What's up, B-Beaver? Let's go. Yeah, enter an emoji in chat for a chance to win a random VV digital collectible. Yeah, enter. And I can hear myself.
That sounds so
terrible
weird.
Voice,
yeah.
Sounds stupid. Anyways, Booth, this has been an awesome conversation, man. Is there any other question besides that you want to ask before we go? While everybody enters an emoji in the chat.
Can I enter the emoji in the chat?
Absolutely, you can, man. Yes.
Well, what
That's
kind
why
of
you.
race?
Heck
That's
yeah.
why. Sorry. So that's why you heard your voice in the thing, because I put up your screen. I was like, I'm gonna enter it right now.
What's up, VV Vegas? Let's go. Yeah, enter right now, guys. And then Booth, a little send a DM later, because we're going to send you one of our very old NFTs from our old collection from the Real Uncommon podcast.
Nice. That's dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to do a zombie race?
What was
that?
A
zombie race. You want to do a zombie race?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
shout out to Zombie.
Yeah, because you mentioned the Spider-Man zombie.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's why. Oh, yeah.
All right. And shout out to the people in the chat. I see you. We have Sith J, Crip, Tony, Ronnie has been here. Shout out to Ronnie. We got Biviver. Let's go, Biviver. If the button would work, I would show your. There we go. It's working now. And then we got Vivi Las Vegas. Let's go, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight, and also for our awesome guests over here, who is now taking up the mantle of the late night streaming. Love it. Booth, anything else you want to say before we start the race? The floor is yours, my friend.
Good luck, and if I win, don't give it to me. I was just messing around. Like if I I've done that before, like with superstars. I don't know if you guys remember them. Like I've done that. Yeah, they were cool, and I won it. And they gave it to me, but I was like, if I win it, then don't actually give it to me.
You just want to make sure you I won, and then you
get that flex. You talk about the superstars. We wouldn't be here streaming if it wasn't for Joe and Rob. Because when we first started our channel, we were gonna quit because we started our channel during the beginning of the bear market. And so there wasn't a lot of eyeballs watching us. I think we would get like 38 views, maybe 20 something views. So it was very, and that was just on Twitter. We weren't even on YouTube yet. So it's very, what's the word? It gets very frustrating, right? Because it's like you're new and like you put in all this work. And at the time when we were doing just pre-records, we weren't even doing live streams. I think we were putting in way too much work, like overdoing it, overthinking it. And then we were going to give up, I think, after episode 4 or 5. And I remember we were talking with Joe and Rob. We were on their stream after. We were on a live stream with them, and after we're like, "Hey, we're going to quit. We're not feeling it." And I remember them convincing us, "Well, give it another try and go on YouTube. YouTube is kind of where you want to be at, right?" And if we didn't listen to them, I think we probably would have never continued this. And so shout out to the superstars. We miss them. And if it wasn't for them, they were a big pivotal part of keeping us here. Probably didn't know that.
No, I did know that. I just want to say one. Sorry, we could start the thing, but like I feel like I have like really low expectations because you were saying like sometimes you had like 20 or 30 viewers and that was low. Like sometimes like I'll have like 8 viewers and I'm like, that's a lot. Like
oh no. Like when it's in existence, just 20 views in the entire existence of that one video, right? Versus like you might have just 8 views, right? Yeah, like honestly, like after a time, you're like, is it really worth your time if you're only going to get like 15, 20 views? But then, we understood, okay, X was not where we should be. And when we simulcast and did both and started going everywhere, because in reality, this stream is being watched not only on X and YouTube, but also Twitch, Decentraland, Kick, and one other place. So, yeah, hence why we're a media group. So. But yeah, we would not be here if it wasn't for Superstars. So shout out to them. Anyways, long-winded. So sorry. If my wife knew I was eating Doritos on her side of the bed, I would have to leave my NFT collection to Doritos.
That's why you put a towel on that side, and then just after you're done, just chuck it.
Man, no eating in bed. Sorry. Anyways,
Doritos. Anyway, so on the race,
we have a race.
I have 6 names on the race.
Oh, you already got them. Perfect. Let's bring them up.
So,
what you got going on this weekend, Booth? What you got going on for the rest of the weekend? You got to work, or you just chilling this weekend?
I have class, and then I do have work on Sunday. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I didn't ask you. Are you like on the East Coast or West? You don't
I'm
have
on
to say
the
where.
West.
Okay, perfect. So you're in our time
Yeah.
zone then.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, you guys are Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah.
just 3
So
hours
usually
behind.
we roll well with the Cali time.
Yeah.
OG Nacho brother. Okay, got you.
Ooh,
I don't.
cool
Yeah,
ranch is good too, or the spicy, whatever
the
spicy.
nacho though. You know what I mean? It's been around since the golden ages.
Nacho cheese. Okay, so I have Citray, Ronnie Lido Booth, B Weaver, BB Las Vegas, and Kryptoni. Did I
All
miss
right,
anything?
guys. That's pretty much it. If anyone else comes in between, well, you're gonna have to like deal with D, not me.
All right, we're done. Names
Okay,
are
we're
in.
done. All right. Do you want background music for this, D? What do you want?
Sure, but you're gonna do the zombie thing, right? Yeah.
Am I? All right, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
do
the
such a good
zombie
job.
thing. I do. All right, you guys want reggae, soul music, or yeah, that's it. I only got reggae or soul music in here. What you guys want?
What you want, Booth? Soul, reggae.
Well, I like reggae. Reggae is cool.
All right, reggae it is. There we go.
Zombies. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Are we ready for the race, everybody? We're going to be doing a zombie race here on Aloha Friday. Sometimes it's Aloha Saturday for the UK people. I see you, Oz and Mainsy. But are you guys ready? Hopefully you don't lose your feet and fall to the ground like a dead person. Are we ready, guys?
Yeah, 45 seconds? Is that
45 seconds on the clock of drama. Let's go. Gosh. All right, zombie hordes. Let's get it. All right, D.
All right,
Let's go.
Here we go.
All right, guys. Here we are. We're crawling over here as everyone's losing a limb or something like that. We got Kryptoni as he's eating them nacho cheese chips and is keeping him behind. BB Las Vegas is slowly going over there, but B Beaver is catching up on the end. Booth is just chilling in the back there with Ronnie Lido. Ronnie's like, I'm an artist. I can chill. Sith J's right over there. He's like, man, I am going to get the race going, but everyone is just looking dead over here. I got to say, this is a dead ringer going on right there. You've got 10 more seconds for the race is ending. This is kind of where the drama hits right here. This is where the cheat code comes in and someone just decides to fart and they move ahead. Look at Tony with all them OG nacho cheese. Look, you got to tell the wife right here. The chips help. Shout out to Tony right here for winning the race.
He took the trip home. Kryptoni.
There you go, Kryptoni. Tell her you're a winner because you ate the chips.
I'm not wearing pants.
There we go. Is he not wearing
Where's my pants, Rodney?
It's the pants party.
The pants party.
There you go. Those hands are for you. I don't know if they're washed, but they're for you. Shout out to you, Kryptoni. And then once again, a big shout out to Vivi for sponsoring the supporter giveaway tonight, guys. We appreciate you guys. Kryptoni, we will reach out to Flexi and On My Way. We just need your Vivi username, so please DM the username with us, and we will take care of the rest.
Or just put it in the chats right now.
Yeah. Guys, that's pretty much the stream. Booth. It's been a pleasure having you on, and it's an open door policy here. If you ever want to come on, if we're on and there's like something we're talking about, or if there's a guest that you might want to talk to and we have them here, just let us know. It's open door policy. You're always welcome to come and join us here. And, you know, this is usually around the times that we like to stream. So shout out to you, man. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, man, thank you guys for letting me come on, man. And it was a really good conversation. Yeah.
Of course. Oh, shoot. What did I do here? My bad. I was going to do that. Guys, go follow Booth right there on his X profile right here. I'm going to put his profile name in the chat. So you guys probably have it already. But for the people in the back of the room that are watching that don't like to talk, go and subscribe to this guy right here and check him out. Do you normally go on every night, or is it just kind of like whenever you feel like it?
It's normally every night, but I mean, sometimes like I have like tomorrow, like because I have class, I don't get out of class until like 10. So then I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna But if I don't have like anything going on late at night, then it's normally like every day. Yeah.
Nice. And then you're just
Nice.
on. Do you have like a YouTube channel or is it just X?
I don't. I'm just making my YouTube. So, but yeah, I mainly just do X. Yeah.
Okay, so stay tuned, guys. For now, if you want to see the latest episode of what's your show called? The Booth Show?
I just kind of like I just name it whatever. Like I just random
okay.
things. Yeah.
If you guys want to watch random streams with Booth every night, go check him out right here on his profile right here. Shout out to him and shout out to everyone that tuned in. If you're watching now or on the replay, we appreciate you guys for tuning in every single time. D, close out the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Booth, for coming on. It was a pleasure getting to talk with you. And yeah, we'll continue the conversations in future streams, shows. Yeah, just appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a good day at school and enjoying the rest of the weekend after that. And thank you everybody for tuning in, for always supporting us, supporting our special guest who comes on. And just wishing everybody a wonderful weekend. Please enjoy the weekend. Whatever you do, be safe and be kind to one another. Until the next time, that we see you on a show or somewhere in the space.
Aloha, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Let's celebrate the weekend. Yeah, let's go. Happy Aloha Friday. Aloha Friday. Where the community comes.